Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in to this month's WWE video. Only one this month because we don't have a takeover to cover, but it is December, right before the Royal Rumble, and that means we're going to be covering TLC 2019. Not a lot of belts on the line for this pay-per-view, but some interesting storyline matches nonetheless, and some storylines that I'm not particularly fond of myself, but we still have matches to cover. Let's jump straight on into one of those title matches, and that would be the women's tag team belts being defended by the Kabuki Warriors. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair will be the challengers for these belts, and boy am I upset about this one, because everything is on the wall. The writing, so to speak, is on the wall for Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair to be taking these belts away, despite the fact that WWE has made a very strong effort to actually build the Kabuki Warriors as strong heel characters and actually make them look legitimate. They even gave them their own entrance music, like a real tag team. Becky Lynch is kind of winded down. At the end of 2019, she had a really tough and hard year, so to speak. She was doing a lot of house shows and doing a lot of pay-per-view with the Ronda Rousey program during WrestleMania, and then all the stuff she did in the mid-year. It looks as if she's wanting to ramp down going into the Rumble, where it's probably going to pick all up again. You also have Charlotte Flair with her. You have two of the biggest faces in the women, not necessarily faces, so to speak, heel face wise, but two of the biggest people in the women's division going against a championship caliber team in Asuka and Kairi Sane, clearly heels. To end the year on a high note, I think they're going to assume the fans want to see this, but in my opinion, I don't think that's correct. I think a majority of fans would actually like to see a legitimate women's tag team division. I don't see any way that Asuka and Kairi Sane keep their belts. It'll probably be a fun match. I think it's a TLC match. There'll be a lot of fun jumping off of tables, smashing tables, and the like. It'll create a lot of really fun spots between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. The only way that I would see the Kabuki Warriors retaining is if Becky and Charlotte turn on each other and start whacking each other, and then we get like a surprise roll-up. But, all signs to me point to Becky 2 belts returning. And then I don't know what we do with Asuka and Kairi Sane from there. Probably feud them with random jobber women's tag teams until, we can return them into the title picture. But my prediction for this one, unfortunately, is Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair will take those tag team titles off of Asuka and Kairi Sane. And the next match we're going to cover is also a tag team championship match. This will be the New Day against the Revival for the SmackDown titles. To me, I think the Revival are probably going to take this one. WWE seems to have a hard-on, so to speak, with going back and forth between these two tag teams, despite, Heavy Machinery being in the wakes in the SmackDown division, just waiting to be pushed a little bit more. It's not like, the fans like them or anything, but when has WWE ever done that? I'll wait. Nonetheless, the Revival's contracts seem to be coming up. The WWE really want to keep them with the company, and the way that they like to keep people happy and keep them in the company is giving them belts instead of compelling storylines. It seems safe. The New Day can drop their titles and still have relevance. They can still be in programs. They've shown that throughout their entire careers. The Revival are actually a little bit of the same. I mean, in my opinion, they shouldn't have even been put in this match. It could have been Heavy Machinery, and Heavy Machinery could even lose and still be put into programs. It's the most match on the card, but it might actually end up being one of the better ones. These two teams seem to always have fun, intricate matches between each other. But again, to me, New Day doesn't need their titles. WWE wanted to keep the Revival around, so they'll give them the titles. I don't think either of them care. We're going into Royal Rumble, and knowing WWE, the Revival will either drop them before Royal Rumble, or we'll have a rematch at Royal Rumble, and the New Day will take them back. But for the time being, to end the year, the Revival, in my opinion, will be your SmackDown Tag Champions and win this match. And our final tag team match on this TLC 2019 card is the Viking Raiders versus we don't know, because it's an open challenge. I know that there's a rumor going around that it'll be Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews, but they already fought them and they squashed them. It might be the Street Profits. I don't think so. I think what makes the most sense is the OC, because they have that mini feud with them with the Saudi Arabia show, and AJ Styles is calling the best tag team in the world and such. And what better way to prove you're the best tag team in the world than to actually have the tag team championship belts? I can't even think of any other tag teams on Raw that could even argue to have a spot in this match. Unless it's like, oh, we're going to have a SmackDown team challenge you and we're going to have, Mustafa Ali and Chad Gable come challenge you. But I don't think it matters. I'm pretty sure the Viking Raiders will hold their belts. WWE seems to be pushing them up and up and up and up and up, which I don't have a problem with. They're probably just priming them to drop the belts to the AOP in the future once this Seth Rollins AOP thing ramps up just a little bit more. I mean, at this point, I can't really say too much about this match because we don't even know who the opponent is, but my pick will still be the Viking Raiders. And we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this card. And by meat and potatoes, I mean the nobody gives a crap match, which is Rusev versus Bobby Lashley in a tables match. I like CM Punk's thought on this match. Loser keeps Lana, and then we just throw away this storyline and never talk about it ever again. The fans really seem to be behind Rusev, though, so I guess, as much as people hate it, it's been successful. It's put Rusev back into... he never really left the fans' favor, but now he's back in the main event, so to speak. Hopefully this lines him up to maybe go after the US title or something like that, or maybe even go after the WWE title whenever Brock Lesnar decides he wants to show back up. I think Rusev has to win this match if they want to finish the storyline. Obviously, if they want the storyline to continue, Bobby Lashley will win. I would assume it's no DQ, but they got to put him through tables and stuff like that. But my pick will still be Rusev because I want this storyline to end. I'm ready to go into the new year and have Rusev be a legitimate wrestler again, and for Lana to go away, and for Bobby Lashley to, in the words of the Street Profits, run and get the hell out of there. So Rusev picks up the win in this tables match. And now my most anticipated match of this card, the match that I am most excited to see, Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy. No real stipulation here, but two very underutilized wrestlers within the company finally having a pay-per-view. It's a lower tier pay-per-view, but still, I think the fans in attendance in Minneapolis will be very, very happy to see this match. It'll be a very fun match. I don't see any way Aleister Black doesn't win this match. You kind of need to carry on the mystique of him. We've already seen Buddy Murphy involved with Roman Reigns during the Eric Rowan feud and everything like that. I don't have a ton to say about it because I kind of just want to sit down and watch it at this point. It'll be a lot of back and forth, some submission stuff coming from both of them, but a big old black mask to the face is probably going to end it. It'll be a shorter match probably too because WWE assumes no one knows who these guys are, probably because they don't do anything with these two. They should probably change that because they're two of the most talented people in the company. Either way, Aleister Black will pick up the win in this match, and hopefully it leads to more things for these two to do in the future. And then we will transition right on to a match that I'm very happy about because I love both of the wrestlers in it. This is Bray Wyatt versus The Miz, not The Fiend, a character that I am referring to as Steve Bray Wyatt, as he reminds me of Steve from Blue's Clues. This match has had a really interesting build-up and a really fun storyline, especially with what happened on SmackDown this last week, where they had the infiltration and the puppets in the crib and all that. I figure this match has to have a DQ angle or something, or the Fiend will show up out of nowhere, someone else will be dressed as the Fiend and attack the Miz, or Daniel Bryan will show up, or who knows, maybe the Miz will just squash him. And it will just be Bray Wyatt needs the Fiend, and then we'll have another Finn Balor demon situation. But it's going to be really interesting to see how WWE books Bray Wyatt without the Fiend character and see if he can pull weight on his own and see how dangerous he is, or if he just runs around the ring and plays tricks on the Miz the whole entire show. Who knows? I'm actually going to say Bray Wyatt wins. The Miz might even lose by DQ. He might get mad and hit him with a steel chair or something, and then the Fiend will come after him. They'll have a match at Royal Rumble, maybe this time for the title. I just see shenanigans coming in the future for this one. I don't really have a winner, but I guess I'll pick Bray Wyatt to win by DQ. Why not? I don't think this is going to be the end of the Daniel Bryan / Miz thing going forward with The Fiend. There aren't enough legitimate superstars outside of Roman Reigns that you could just throw into a title program with Bray Wyatt right now. And in my opinion, that's going to be the WrestleMania main event probably this year, is Roman Reigns versus The Fiend, because I assume Bray's going to hold that title until then. Either way, I think it'll be a fun match, a fun little look what we can do with this character kind of thing. But I'm putting a lot of faith in him, I guess, with that answer. But, I'll enjoy it because I love both the wrestlers either way. So Bray Wyatt wins by disqualification. And now we move on to what I believe will be the main event of this show, Baron Corbin versus Roman Reigns. And again, we're closing out the year. How can Roman Reigns not win this match? Can we just talk for a second, too, about how great of a heel Baron Corbin is and how good he is at his job? He was actually on the WWE Backstage show on FS1 and did a little interview about how he handles being a heel and being a villain. You should watch that if you have some time, because you might hate Baron Corbin, but he is so good at his job, and I respect the hell out of him for it. But there's no way he's winning this match. WWE has done an incredible job with ramping up Roman Reigns as far as like not putting him straight into a title picture right away. They've created feuds for him that have made sense and have actually like encapsulated fans in a very positive way. He's starting to go back into the positive favor of fans, so that when WrestleMania comes around and they put him in the title picture, everyone goes, ooh, why is he in the title picture? It's like, well, they did wait almost a year to do this, to be fair. So, you know, I will give them credit for expressing patience in this, but I believe this will be the start of the rise of Roman Reigns, and he may even win the Royal Rumble. Early prediction there for you all. It'll be a fun match as well. Ziggler will probably get involved in some capacity. I can't think of anyone that might help Roman Reigns. Maybe Ali and Shorty G come out and help him because they just don't like Corbin, but I think it would be more effective if Roman just beats the living snot out of Corbin with a chair or something. I'm pretty sure it's a TLC match. Insanity will ensue. It's a TLC match. You know, neither of these guys are known as high flyers or super dangerous guys, but, you know, look, power bombs into tables. Someone might smack someone with a ladder. You know, power bomb off of a ladder. There will be some crazy, ridiculous spot like there would be in a normal TLC match. But the show will end on a high note with Roman Reigns hitting the Superman punch or something like that, putting his hands up on the ring post, and we'll fade the black going into 2020 in the Royal Rumble with Roman Reigns emerging victorious. And thank you all so much for viewing this month's WWE video. Please stay tuned next month when we go into preview TakeOver Houston as well as the Royal Rumble in January, and also take some time and look at the NFL content on this channel. I do a picks video every single week. I usually put it out on Wednesday or Thursday. Our record's actually pretty good on that one as well, and every once in a while I drop in predictions, like Coach of the Year predictions was a video I just did. And as you were looking through there, be sure to just subscribe and comment and let me know what kind of content you guys would like to see. And any sharing you do of any video on this only helps me grow even more and bring out more awesome content for you all. Once again, thank you so much. Enjoy your holiday, enjoy your Christmas, or whatever holiday that you decide to celebrate, and we will see you all next time. Thank you.